Hey everyone, are you in a place in life where you feel like you're stuck, you're struggling, you're suffering, you're depressed, you're exhausted, you're drained? If so, you may have heard of this word, you may have not heard of this word. The word is anhedonia, and it's spelled Anhedonia. And spelling it almost makes you feel like you're in a spelling competition, but it's not a competition, it's more of a condition. Uh, what anhedonia is when you don't enjoy anything anymore. Those things that you used to love doing don't bring you any more joy, any more pleasure, any more happiness, any more excitement. And you don't understand why. Almost like a complete numbness. For example, if you used to like hiking or biking or knitting, whatever it is, these things that you used to do don't bring you that joy, that pleasure, and that happiness and that excitement anymore. They just don't do it for you anymore. Those things that you used to absolutely love. And even if you try and force yourself to do them now, that feeling of enjoyment is void. It's gone. It's not there. Even thinking about doing those things, if you are struggling, suffering, depressed, and anxious, and you're talking to someone about it, and they may just say, well, what is it that you like to do? Just go do that. Well, that's advice, and advice never works because I imagine you've thought of that before, and it's not the solution that you need now. And so hearing that actually even makes you more frustrated and irritated, makes you want to punch that person because you're looking at them going, don't you think I've thought of that? And you may not know this, so you may actually feel worse because your mind then thinks, well, I've tried that, or I used to do that, and every time I did that, yeah, it worked, but I've tried that and it doesn't work anymore. So it may be simple little things like going to get coffee with your friends, or maybe big things like planning a vacation and being with people that you love. But these things just don't bring you pleasure and joy anymore. It can be small things, it can be big things. Maybe it's really important things like experiencing intimacy with your partner. In the beginning, you used to love it and you were crazy. And now, when that person's like, hey, you're like, get away from me. I'm tired. Whatever it is, this anhedonia, what it means is a lack of enjoyment, lack of pleasure. And it can be associated, it can be connected and related to so many other things like anxiety, depression, other medical conditions. So the list is on. It's just one of those small pieces of the puzzle. And it's just kind of this label that helps you understand, okay, yeah, I maybe have anhedonia. I don't enjoy the things that I used to really love anymore. Maybe it's reading, maybe it's whatever it is. But your thoughts of lack and joy get replaced with your mind going on and on and on, almost like they get stuck in this negative loop, this detrimental loop, these thoughts, these experiences from your past. And now you just feel exhausted, you feel drained, you feel tired, you feel heavy, and it feels like you're just utterly stuck. And it feels like these thoughts are pulling you down and weighing you down, and this anhedonia, I just don't have pleasure or joy anymore. I don't know why. And you're stuck in that loop and those thoughts trying to figure it out. What ifing? Well, what if I tried that? Well, what if I did this instead, right? And you probably get that what if when you're talking to people about it. But the thing is, when you talk about the problem, you strengthen the problem. How often is it that when you talk about a problem, you find a solution? Maybe you just get more advice. Yeah, and that goes on how to turn your brain off to sleep when you have anxiety. I know many people with anxiety who sleep. So we're going to get to that. And it's getting to the very root of it. What is it? What is it that's causing this? Why do you not enjoy those things that you used to enjoy so much anymore? So maybe you're out there and you're watching videos like this, or you're researching and you're trying to find this, and you come across this term just like this one or this label, and then you feel even worse because what's happened is that you've been slapped on with another label. Okay, now I'm suffering from anhedonia. Now I'm suffering from anxiety. Now I'm suffering from depression. Okay, what do? Well, a lot of people will go to a doctor because they can't handle it or perceive that they can't handle it, all while handling it, and then go get medication or pill. And go, okay, well, now what, right? Another pill for that, another medication, another doctor's visit. So if you're finding that you're still Googling and researching and watching videos like this, and you're just popping up, and what's happening is that you're Googling and looking into all these symptoms. Well, you're going to get a label that is associated with that symptom. Maybe you're coming up with another word like this, like anhedonia, and then you go down another rabbit hole. Oh, that's a new one. Oh, codependent, narcissistic, empath. Anhedonia, that's it, right? And that's just a byproduct. Anhedonia, or not feeling anything, feeling void and numb, completely checked out, is a byproduct of something else. It's not the problem, it's one of the symptoms. You got to get to what's causing that symptom. But then you're left going down this rabbit hole again, hoping to come up with this light bulb moment when you're in that dark rabbit hole, chasing it down and down and down and spiraling. The answer's not in there. You're hoping, though, that you'll get this epiphany and go, oh, it's anhedonia, this is that. And this person said, if you have anhedonia, just do this. And then it'll go away and everything will be magically better. It's not like that. So this anhedonia, what it can do is lead you to feeling totally, completely numb, like you don't feel anything. And obviously, we're spiritual beings in a physical body. We would need to feel, we want to feel. What we want to feel is loved, connected, and we're feeling disconnected, feeling rejected, feeling completely numb or not feeling anything. And unfortunately, it can lead to a lot of self-harm. It can lead to addictions because you want to check out or tune out from not feeling anything or from feeling the pain. And if you don't feel anything, you want to feel something, so it can lead to self-harm, because that, at least you can feel something, or it leads you down a road of just engaging in totally, completely dangerous behaviors, dangerous relationships, getting you to do things that you know are not good for you, getting you to say yes when you really know that you need to say no, going against that intuition. And if you're feeling this and experiencing this, it is so important to get to what's causing the problem. Not just continue to research more symptoms and more byproducts of this. So it's important to, yes, be aware of this and define it for yourself, and go within you and see what it is that has you feeling like this, what it is that has you doing those things, and what it is that's really truly causing you to numb out or not have any feelings at all. Because we all want, everyone that I connect with, I ask them, what do you want? And it's fascinating because people will go on and on about what they don't want, when the question was, what do you want? So when repeated and when spent time with, the answer is almost always the same. I want to be happy. I want to feel peace. I just want to feel excitement for life. I want to wake up and not feel the heaviness and the dread. I want to wake up and look forward to the day, have energy, be motivated. I want to do those things that I used to do, that when I did, I just was like, this is amazing. I just love my life. I just want to feel joy and peace and happiness. But this anhedonia is actually what takes a lot of the people that I work with and keeps them stuck in the narcissistic relationship. If you don't feel anything, then there's nothing the narcissist can do or say that's going to get to you. And there are terms and techniques out there like gray rocking, but you still feel something. You just have to pretend that you don't feel it by using the gray rocking technique, when you actually still feel it. And so what happens is it becomes bottled up, and this pressure, this buildup, it's got to go somewhere. It's got to be released. And it's almost like it's being released internally. You're internally combusting, all while you have to pretend that you don't feel that. So it's what keeps people in toxic situations, in abusive relationships. When you don't feel anything, how can anyone hurt you? So it is a really detrimental thing to experience. And it leaves you reacting to the abuse that you're receiving. It leads you going crazy and doing things that you know are unhealthy, all to get a rise, a reaction. It's why people in toxic relationships say that it's like a drug. They become addicted to it. And it's very true, because if you feel nothing, you're meant to feel something. So you're going to create situations or stay in situations that have you feel something. And of course, when you're with a narcissist, it feels like a roller coaster, the highs and lows. But if you're feeling this anhedonia, how can they ever actually get to you, right? And then you don't feel that it could ever be any better, because you're stuck in that place, in that space, and you want to feel. So it's why people start to question themselves and think, well, am I the narcissist? I did this horrible thing to this person. I know it's just not all them. I'm the toxic person too, but I really didn't feel that bad for it, but I know I should have felt bad. Well, that's a side effect. That's a byproduct of this anhedonia. When you just kind of check out and feel nothing, it leaves you doing these things to get a rush, a rise, a reaction, and it feels better than nothing at all. So perhaps you're experiencing anhedonia, the symptoms of it, and you feel like you're not yourself. Many people I connect with say, before this relationship, I wasn't like that. I was strong, I was independent, I was confident, and now I'm doing these really toxic, these really narcissistic things. So I'm wondering if I'm the narcissist. But if you know that's not who you really are, but you're doing these things, there's something else going on. And if a person is experiencing anhedonia and they're not able to enjoy anything, it's quite easy to feel frustrated, to feel depressed, to feel anxious, to feel like you're not yourself, to be struggling, stuck, and suffering. So if you're experiencing anhedonia or you're connecting with anything in this video, it is imperative, it is important to do the inner work to get to the root cause of that. It's not a natural feeling. We're not born. We don't come onto this planet feeling nothing. I mean, we come on highly in tune. If you look at a baby, you look at them and just how engaged they are, and they don't have words or language to express it yet, but their nonverbals, their facial expressions will clue you into exactly what they're experiencing. If you put a little lemon in their mouth, but right? They're experiencing dissatisfaction, disdain, distaste from it. They're not sitting there going completely checked out, obviously, unless there's other things going on, other medical conditions. But naturally and normally, it's where you experience things. It's not normal to feel completely tuned out, checked out, or not enjoy the things that should bring you so much joy and pleasure. And like I said, it can be big things, it can be little things. So what's imperative is to remove the problem. But chances are you're taking a look at the symptoms. But excavate what it is that's causing that, and to remove that, because underneath that is that love, that happiness, that joy that you're wanting to experiencing, that you deserve to experience, that you desire to experience. But it's buried under a lot of pain, a lot of struggle, a lot of heartache, a lot of suffering. Perhaps from things that led you to being in that toxic relationship, perhaps things that are from that toxic relationship itself. So it's not about getting more labels and say, oh, I have anhedonia. It's about removing those and getting rid of them. And if you're ready to do that, I mean, that's the journey and the transformation that I take my clients on, using hypnosis, using rapid transformational therapy. It's about you getting in there and excavating and removing that pain, removing the numbness and the things that you're doing that cause you to feel that way. So, like I said, most people I connect with have talked to other professionals, other people about it, and they talk about the problem, and it simply just strengthens the problem. So if you've tried that and it hasn't worked for you, I'm not surprised. That's been my past experience. So know that it doesn't need to be that way forever, and know that this label, this word and its definition, don't have to be the umbrella that you live your life under. Life is not meant to be lived by just checking out, numbing out, and voiding out of everything. Not meant to be with toxic people or toxic thoughts either. So when you're ready to remove, release, and excavate those, I'd love to connect. We can always connect and talk more to see if we're a good fit to work together one-on-one. You can always find more information in the link in my bio, and make us an appointment to schedule there. All right, guys, have a wonderful day, and I'll try to connect with you soon.